You ever have one of those moments where life just slams into you, like a truck you didn't see coming? That's what happened to us, though, me, my siblings, and my mom in a scorching August afternoon in our little corner of Atlanta. It was the kind of day where the air felt like soup, and we were just kids, 7 years old, walking home with sticky popsicles melting down our hands. When Bama pickup truck swerved, screamed, and smashed into a lamppost, smoke curling up like a warning. I'm Jamal, by the way. My sisters, Aisha and Lena, were triplets, born 3 minutes apart, always moving like one mind in three bodies. That day, we didn't think, just ran. Neighbors stood there, jaws dropped, phones out but frozen, like they were watching a movie. Not us. Aisha grabbed a brick from the curb, smashed the truck's window, her hands shaking, blood streaking her knuckles from the glass. Lena climbed through, tiny fingers wrestling with the driver's seatbelt, yelling, "It's stuck! It's stuck!" I pounded the door until it groaned open, and together we dragged this guy, big dude, blood on his face, barely breathing, out onto the pavement just as flames started licking the hood. The smell of gasoline burned my nose, but we kept pulling, Aisha shouting, "Don't you die on us, mister, stay awake." Sirens wailed, paramedics swarmed, and they whisked him off, but not before we heard it. He was on the stretcher, lips cracked, voice like a ghost, whispering one word, "Tamara." That's my mom's name. We froze, Aisha's hand gripping mine so tight it hurt. Lena's eyes went wide, like she'd seen something impossible. How did this stranger know our mom? We stood there, popsicles forgotten, glass crunching under our sneakers, feeling like the world just tilted. At the hospital, we pressed our faces against the ER window, watching nurses rush around this guy, tubes and monitors everywhere. Mom showed up, still in her nurse's scrubs, her face all tight, like she was holding her breath. "What are y'all doing here?" she snapped, her voice sharp but shaky, like she was mad and scared at the same time. Aisha, bold as ever, said, "Mama, he said your name." Mom's eyes flickered, just for a second, then she shut it down. "Go outside now," she said, sharper than I'd ever heard her. We didn't argue, but as we sat on the hospital steps, the red glow of the sign buzzing above us, we knew something was wrong. Lena whispered. She looked scared, "Jamal. She knows him." I nodded, my stomach twisting. "She's hiding something." That night, I couldn't sleep. Neither could Aisha or Lena. We huddled in our room, whispering like we were planning a heist. Aisha, always the one to act first, think later, snuck into Mom's room and found Ida's faded photo buried under her sweaters. It was Mom, young, smiling like I'd never seen, with her arm around the guy we pulled from the truck. My heart pounded. She lied. Aisha hissed, shoving the photo under her pillow. Lena's voice shook. "What if he's—" "You know, I didn't want to say it, but the word hung there anyway, Dad." The next week, school was a circus. Kids called us heroes, wanting every detail. Was there blood? Did he scream? Were we scared? But then the whispers turned ugly. "This kid, Trey, big mouth, bigger attitude," sneered. "Y'all saviors, but where's your daddy? Bet that guy's just another dude your mom ran off." I saw red, lunged at him, fists flying before Aisha could stop me. Teachers pulled us apart, and I got a 3-day suspension. Mom was furious, pacing the kitchen, saying, "You don't fight over gossip, Jamal. You don't drag my name through the dirt." But her hands were shaking, and I saw it, fear, not just anger. She was hiding something big. The neighborhood didn't help. At church, women whispered behind their fans, "Tamara's got secrets," always did. At the barber shop, old guys chuckled. "She picked the wrong men. Now look at her." Aisha overheard it at the grocery store, Lena at choir practice. It was like the whole city was peeling Mom apart, and we were caught in the middle. That's when Aisha had enough. "We're finding answers," she said, her voice low, like she was declaring war. So we did something stupid, snuck into Mom's room again while she was at work. Under her bed was a box, taped shut, dusty, like it hadn't been touched in years. We tore it open, and there they were, letters, dozens of them, some ripped, some unopened, all in the same slanted handwriting. Aisha read one aloud, her voice shaking. Tamara, I didn't leave you. Your dad made me go, threatened to ruin us both. I love you. I love our baby. Lena's eyes filled with tears. He didn't abandon us, she whispered. I felt my chest burn. Then why'd Mom hide this? When Mom came home and saw us with the letters, her face went pale, like she'd seen a ghost. Put those back, she snapped, but her voice cracked. Aisha held up a letter, tears streaming. Why, Mama? Why'd you let us think he didn't want us? For the first time, Mom looked small, like the weight of the world had crushed her. She sank onto the bed, whispering. It was easier to hate him than to wonder. She told us her side, voice raw, like it hurt to dig it up. She was 19, a nursing student, working late nights at the library when she met Marcus, the guy from the crash. He was charming, made her laugh, carried her books, promised her forever. They were in love, the kind that makes you stupid. But when she got pregnant with us, he freaked, said he wasn't ready, stormed out, and vanished. Her dad, our grandpa Victor, told her Marcus was no good, that she was better off. She believed him, especially when the letters stopped coming her, so she thought. I tore up the ones I saw, she admitted, tears falling. I was so angry, I couldn't read them. And maybe Daddy hid the rest. That's when it hit us. Grandpa Victor, who we thought died years ago, might have had a hand in this. And then, like the universe was listening, the doorbell rang at 5 a.m. the next day. Mom opened it to find an envelope and a burner phone. The phone rang, and a voice cold, sharp, like a blade said, You let that boy near my grandkids, Tamara, and I'll finish what I started. Mom's knees buckled. You're dead, she whispered. The voice laughed. Paper's easy, baby girl. Inside the envelope were photos of Victor, alive, stepping out of a car, dated last week, and a copy of his death certificate, like a cruel joke. Then it got worse. A woman from Child Services showed up, saying someone reported Mom for neglect, claiming we were exposed to conflict. Mom's face went gray. He's doing this, she whispered to Auntie Keisha, her best friend, who'd rushed over. Keisha's eyes burned as she looked at the photos. Victor's alive, and he's playing dirty. Then Marcus showed up, limping, still healing from the crash, but his eyes were fire. He tried to kill me, he said, holding up a mechanic's report. My brake lines were cut. That crash wasn't an accident. We were terrified, but we weren't backing down. Mom called a detective friend, Harmon, who took one look at the evidence letters, photos, the burner phone and said, Victor's got connections, but this is attempted murder. We went to court, all of us, clutching a paternity test that proved Marcus was our dad. Victor showed up, cool as ice, in a sharp suit, waving old guardianship papers he'd forced Mom to sign when we were babies. He smirked at her, right there on the courthouse steps, cameras flashing, saying, You always loved the wrong men, Tamara. Let me keep those kids safe. Mom didn't flinch. You're not family, she said, voice like steel. Not anymore. Inside, it was a war. Victor's lawyer painted Mom as unfit, Marcus as violent, us as troubled. But Keisha had a trump card security footage showing Victor's driver tampering with Marcus's truck. The judge granted a protective order, shut down the Child Services complaint, and sent Victor's case to the DA. We thought we'd won. Then, as we left, cops rolled up with a new warrant for Marcus, some old assault charge Victor had dug up. Mom stepped in front of him, fierce, telling the cops, You take him gentle. My kids are watching. Marcus looked at us, cuffed but calm, and said, This is the last shadow he'll throw. As the squad car pulled away, I yelled, Daddy. First time I'd ever said it. Aisha cried. Lena prayed. Across the street, Victor watched, smiling like he'd already won. But Mom, she looked at him, eyes burning, and mouthed, This ends with you. That night, We sat in the precinct, waiting for Marcus, holding the paternity paper like it was armor. Keisha was on the phone, working with Harmon to get Marcus out. Mom held us close, whispering, "We choose each other. Always." Victor's still out there, pulling strings, thinking he can control us. But we've got the truth now, messy, jagged, but ours. Mom's not hiding anymore. Marcus isn't running. And us? We're not just the kids who saved a stranger. We're a family, fighting for each other, no matter what comes next. So, what do you think? Can the truth ever stay buried? Or does it always claw its way out? Drop a comment, tell me your take. Did Mom do right by protecting us? Or should she have faced the past sooner? Let's talk. This story's not over.